What if I told you that lashing is not a career? As a 10-year lash tech, I can definitively tell you that lashing is not a career, and at best, it is a high paid internship. But before you jump down my throat, listen to the reasons why. So, as a lash tech, for the last 10 years, why would I say that being a lash tech is not a career and instead a high paid internship? One, because being a lash artist means that you are basing your wealth on a limited resource. We only make money in the chair when we're in the chair. When we're doing lashes, time is a very limited resource. At some point, you hit a ceiling. If your books are full, if you're working 40 hours a week, at some point, you're not going to be able to go beyond your current financial threshold. And to me, that is not a good place to base your career. You want to be able to base your business off of unlimited resources. Why? Because money is an unlimited resource. There's more and more being printed every single day, and you want to be able to get as much as you can. And you cannot do that if your entire business is 100% based on time. But there are things that you can do. And one of those things is to become a master, to become an expert. Because if you become a master, an expert in your field, you're automatically going to be able to pull down higher price points. If you are a lash master, a lash expert, that means you can charge anywhere from $200 to $350 for a full set. So we understand that typically there are only 40 hours in the work week, right? So we want to make sure that because time is such a limited resource and we can only make a certain amount of money, that we are maximizing the amount of money that we can make. So if you become a master, if you become an expert, instead of sitting and doing lashes for 8 hours and only making $500, now you're able to sit in the lash chair for 8 hours and make $1,000. So why is that important? Because you can use the surplus money to then go and invest. Lashing does not cost us a lot of money. We have very little overhead and very high profit margin, which a lot of businesses do not have. Lashing is a cash cow, especially if you are strategic about how you set up your business. That is so important because you can then use that surplus money that you have stored from running a strategic lash business to now invest in something that is an unlimited resource. You can now invest in real estate. You can now go open a new business. You can do so much because now you have the capital. Now you have the tax returns. Now you have a quality business that you can use as a seed to really set up a long-term fortune. And this is so important to me because I started as a lash tech in my young 20s. I am now in my early 30s. So my life has changed. My bills have changed. I'm now a mother, so my time and availability has changed. I was happy 10 years ago being in the shop all day, all night, hustling, making as much money as I possibly could, working 10 and 12 hours a day. But my life no longer allows that. Had I not been strategic then, I would not have been able to set myself up so well now. For instance, now my car is paid off. I'm living in a home that I bought. I was able to use that money that I have been making for all those years and storing. I was able to use that to renovate my home. I was able to buy a commercial building and use that money to renovate that. And now I have appreciating assets that are growing in value. Because I think another thing that we don't talk about is retirement. How are you going to retire? What is your plan? So now I have mortgages that'll be paid off in the next 30 years, and I will have paid for assets. And again, I can still go and do more and more of this, but I have to realize, and I really had to transition my thinking. I had to realize that while lashing is considered good money, because if you are making $200,000 a year, you are considered to be making very good money. The thing is, if you stop there, then you also stop your opportunity to create a lot more wealth, right? You also stop your opportunity to be able to remove yourself. Lashing is great money. Making $200,000 a year, a lot of people would love to make that, right? But Our money is tied to time. And in order to expand and scale, we have to disconnect that tie. So if you are now able to use money to invest in other businesses that can be vehicles to make your money make more money for you, now you're really setting yourself up for long-term wealth. And now you are strategically using the benefits of being a lash artist to have a phenomenal future. The other reason that I believe that lashing is not a career, but instead a high-paid internship is because it turns you into a solution architect. And solution architects make more than lash tech if you do it right. So developing a skill set, one, is not easy. So becoming a master lash artist means that you put in a lot of dedication, a lot of time, a lot of attention to detail, and a lot of practice, right? So one, you've become a master in your skill set. That was not easy. As you become a master in your skill set, you run into a bunch of issues, right? And you figure out solutions to them. So because now you have a bunch of solutions only in the skill set category, that means that you can now be a trainer, right? You can now offer those solutions to the market. You can turn those trainings into e-trainings. That is an unlimited resource, right? You can teach hundreds and thousands and millions of people all of the solutions that you have found in the chair. If you do not view lashing as an internship, then you would never think to develop the next part of this business. So you had to build a business. Building a business is not easy. Do you know people pay hundreds and thousands and millions of dollars to people to teach them how to build businesses? There are tons of lash tech coming behind you who are going to need the solutions that you have already found. So you're going to make money in the chair. You're going to maximize your money in the chair because you're going to become a master, but also you're going to use that mastery to now sell the solutions. And all of those things are not tied to your time. That is an unlimited resource. So I think it's very important that we as lash artists, that we as beauty professionals really start to open our minds to the opportunities and the possibilities of what our crafts can lead to. I think it's also super important because if you're in my age group, you're getting older. And I know there are people who would say, oh, baby girl, you're young, but no, we're getting older. We're getting older. And a lot of the times we're not thinking about retirement. We're not thinking about 10 years and 20 years and 30 years from now. We're only thinking about now. And that is problematic. That is a detriment to your future. That is a detriment to your fortune. So we want to make sure that we are thinking about those things now, that we are changing our mind in regards to our beauty businesses, and that we are opening our minds and just developing more perspective because now we have more exposure. So I really hope that that was helpful for those of you who are struggling with adding strategies, because let me tell you something, you cannot maximize in that chair if you are not strategic. You can't just get by with a, ooh, I feel like, and hopefully this works. No, baby, you need some systems. I will tell you because I've been a lash tech with no systems and I've been a lash tech with systems, and having systems made me some more money. So if you are struggling to really systematize your business, that means systemizing your booking site because that's where all your money is made. Having a system and a strategy around your pricing because that is how you maximize your money, and really having a strategy around how you position your brand and position yourself as luxury, premium, and expert. I would definitely recommend that you jump into my 10K Mastery. It is amazing. It is a recorded multi-hour session that will give you the tools that you need to, one, make a full-time six-figure salary if you want to work part-time. However, if you don't want to work part-time and you want to keep going and you want to work 40 hours, it will give you all the strategies and systems that you need if you want to make $200,000. Because making $100,000 as a lash tech is great. That's one of the first things we want to get to. But why stay at $100,000 when you can make two? Because I promise you, it is not any more difficult to make $200,000 than it is to make $100,000. But it is difficult to swallow the idea that you only made $100,000, so you threw $100,000 away. So if you need some help with that, make sure you're jumping into my 10K Mastery. Thank you so much. As you know, we are on Instagram as Lash Gang Official, and we are on Facebook. Just look up Lash Gang. Hope to see you guys soon. We also have the best lash product line on the planet. So if you're looking for glues that work, lashes that keep their curl, lashes that actually fan, you need to check out Lash Gang too.